Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Nigerians, depending on where you're watching this video from. Nigerians, this video is about you and it's about me. So please, this is extremely important. I implore you to please lend me your ears. Nigerians, when is enough going to be enough as a people? When will bad governance end in Nigeria? When is it actually going to end? Because as far as I can remember, I have been experiencing bad governance since I was born. Guys, I'm sure many of us must have seen this news. I'm sure that many of us must have seen this news about the National Assembly rejecting the mandatory electronic transmission of election results. Guys, do we actually understand the magnitude of this? Do we understand what this means? Do we understand how serious and how much trouble that we are in as a people, as a nation? Do we understand? Since I saw that news since yesterday, I've been fuming, I've been very upset, I've been very angry. And obviously, this is not the type of video I would usually make. But Nigerians, it is about time. It is about time that we all stopped being docile. It is about time we stopped being quiet. It is about time we stopped being docile and started speaking about the abnormalities, the abnormal things happening in our political space in Nigeria from these evil leaders that we call politicians in Nigeria. This is extremely wrong. Tell me, how can a person with a 2 cents of brain, any form of sense, any form of decency, any form of integrity, reject the mandatory transmission of election results from the polling unit to the IREF portal? How can anyone do that? How can anyone that means well for you, for the people, that wants a country to grow, do that? This tells you everything you need to know. Our brother Peter for Nigeria has been screaming. He has been screaming for this electoral reform for as long as we all can remember. But this National Assembly, they have been stalling. They have been stalling because why? They do not want to approve that. They do not want to give us election transmission of result. They do not want to do that. Our brother Randy Peters has been screaming about this electoral reform. But this National Assembly has refused. The likes of Akpabio and his cohorts, they have refused to approve this. This means that we will not be able to elect people with good intentions. This proves that we will not be able to bring in people with goodwill into leadership positions in Nigeria. This actually means that those with compassion, those with track record, good people that are supposed to attain leadership positions in Nigeria would never be able to come in if we let this slide as a people. Do you know what this means? This is very, very dangerous for people, for us Nigerians. This is very, very dangerous. Look at where our country is today. Different countries of the world are making progress. South Africans are having an election. It is seamless. America would get their election free and fair. The United Kingdom will do their election. It is free and fair. But once it comes to Nigeria, the giant of Africa, our politicians do not want to make progress. They do not want to move forward. They would rather remain in the stone age of writing elections manually. Do you know why? Because they want to rig. Because they just want to rig the election. Because this APC government, they know that they've got nothing to offer to Nigerians. They have nothing to offer. Since they took over power since 2015, what have they done? But destroy this country or destroy Nigeria. And please, guys, please stop saying that this doesn't concern you. that you've traveled, that you've already left the shores of Nigeria. If you've managed to escape Nigeria, what about your family members? What about your brothers, your sisters, your nieces, your cousins, your friends? What about those that are not able to leave? Nigeria can still happen to you wherever you are. It can still happen to you wherever you are. You might say, okay, after spending 20 years in abroad, in overseas, you want to go back to Nigeria and carry out one business or the other. One stupid government policy can destroy your years of hard work. You can come to Nigeria and get kidnapped and buyed by kidnappers, buyed by bad road. Look at what happened to Anthony Joshua and his friends recently due to bad road. Nigerian politicians, they do not want to make any form of progress. They want to remain in the Stone Age. Why? Because they know that that is the only pathway they have in remaining in the government office. Because they know. So what is the solution for this? We should stop being docile. All of us, each and every one of us, we need to start applying pressure. We need to start putting pressure on these people so that they can be able to do the right thing. If not, we are finished as a people. Guys, we need to start thinking beyond ourselves. What about our children? What about our grandchildren? What will become of them? The only hope we have as a people is to have the means to vote out leaders that are not doing well. The only means these people have in returning into leadership is through rigging. It's through the corrupt INEC. That is the only means they have. That is the only means. And that is why you can see that the National Assembly, these senators, these leaders, they do not want to approve this. They do not want to approve this. They do not want to give us mandatory transmission of results electronically. They do not want to do it. So what does that tell you? This tells us that these people don't care about us. They do not want Nigeria to progress. They do not want Nigeria to be developed. No. Because they don't care about us. They don't care about whatever happens to us. They only care about themselves. So long as they are in the position of power, taking care of themselves, stealing as much as they can and taking care of their immediate family, their cronies and their friends, they do not care about nothing else. So we have to come together. Let us forget about tribe. Please, let us stop talking about being Igbo, being Yoruba, being Hausa, being Fulani, being you coming from Edo State. It doesn't matter. We are all Nigerians. We need to stand as a unit. We need to stand as one voice. Let us face these people head on. Let us occupy the National Assembly. We must force them to do the right thing because this is the only power we have as a people. Nigerians, if we do not stand together as a people, we are finished. We are finished. Very soon, beyond 2027, Nigeria will be worse than Zimbabwe. Nigeria will be worse than Uganda. You will not have any say. You could come out with every goodwill to vote your preferred candidate, but never. Your vote will never count. I'm not trying to discourage anyone. But guys, this is the right thing for us to do. We need to come together as a people, as one. Stop talking about being Yoruba or being Igbo or being Hausa or being Fulani. We need to stand as a united front and confront these people head on. We have to occupy the National Assembly. We must force these people to do the right thing. Because the only pathway we have in getting good governance in Nigeria and changing the situation of that country, it is through voting. It is through election. It is having that power to be able to choose the right leader to lead us, to bring about good changes, to make positive changes in that country. If not, we are done. We can already see how things are going in that country. We do not have hope as it stands. Because if things are left the way they are right now, I'm telling you before God and man, 2027 is already gone. It's already rigged. And they would definitely continue from where they stopped. We would never get any good thing out of that country. Nigeria will get worse. Just look at the Naira today. Look at where Naira is today. Imagine how it's going to be beyond 2027. And this shows you that this current assembly, this current National Assembly, they are not willing to do anything that will affect a positive change for that country, Nigeria. They are not willing to do that. They will not do that. Because this set of people, anything that President Tinubu brings, they are willing to approve it without questions. You can see how they sing, on your mandate we stand, fall, and break their necks. They don't care. This same government could bring a bill requesting them to extend the time, the presidency time, and they would actually do that. What will you and I do? What are we going to do? Nothing. So this is the time we have before 2027 election. Let us stand as a unit. Let us stand as a people. Let us confront these people. It is about time we stop being docile. We stop being quiet. We stop being scared of these people. These leaders are not more than 1 million people, and we are over 250 million people. We have to confront these people head on. Let us occupy the National Assembly and force them to do the rightful thing. Let them do the right thing so that we can be able to choose our leaders. So that on the election day, we can come out in mass, vote our preferred candidate, defend our vote, and see it through. Nigerians, these are my 1 cent that I'm contributing. I do not even have the platform to, but we all have to start learning our voice one way or the other. And guys, please, share this video. Share this video. Please, guys. We need to stand as a people. We need to stand as a unit. We need to stand as a voice. We must stand as a voice and confront these evil leaders, because they will never do right by us. They are not ready to do right by us. And Nigeria will never be developed if we continue like this. If we let this slide. We need to force them. We need to force them to sign this mandatory electronic transmission of result into power, so that we can vote from the polling units, and from the polling unit our results will be transmitted into the IREF, and the whole world will be watching it. Thank you, and God bless you, Nigerians.